Next is from John Roddy. Somebody says, how could Tony Khan have messed up this badly? Do you think that Tony Khan is even slightly aware of how badly he has up everything by keeping the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Adam Page around instead of CM Punk? It's been proven over and over that not only did those elite guys not draw ratings, no one is buying tickets, and even Meltzer, of all people, is reporting that their merch sales have dropped by a large margin. While CM Punk walked slightly out to a WWE stage and the internet went insane. Do you think that Tony Khan may finally be adult enough to understand the big-time changes need to be made with AEW? You guys can talk about MJF being the best thing on the roster all you want, but no one gives a about him. You might, but the fans don't. AEW has 0 draws. 0. I would disagree with that. I still think some of those guys draw. They don't draw big numbers, but they draw numbers where you can measure, like on a weekly basis. I think Cage does decent numbers for his segments.
Omega.
Does he?
Yeah, Kenny's matches usually don't. You know how they have that dip. Kenny's matches usually stay along par. You know.
What's that sound?
Go ahead. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me just say this. Did he say something about MJF not being all that or something?
He's not drawing numbers, is what they're saying.
Yeah. Said no one gives an about him, and AEW has 0 draws.
Okay. How could you say that nobody gives a about him when literally the whole place is chanting his name when he comes out? Any catchphrase he does, anything he does, you're just a hater if you're saying that, or you don't know what you're talking about, you know.
Right.
So let me just say this. What's this guy's name?
His name was John Roddy.
John Roddy.
John Roddy.
John Roddy. Let me just say this, John. I've stated and never wavered from my position that it should have never been a them or I situation. Okay? A strong leader would have said, hey, I have you all under contract. I can freeze your pay for not abiding the company bylaws or just job you out for a while, WWE style, or not feature you. You have to work together with who's down. In the meantime, you keep them separate. So it shouldn't have been a them or I. You know what I'm saying? Because you give too much power to the guy that stays. I've experienced that. This is from experience. And he had to let him go because he's saying something about, whoa, doesn't he feel stupid or let CM Punk, or what did he say about CM Punk letting him go?
Yeah, letting him go instead of the other guys, the elite guys.
Right. Bro, he had to let him go. He undermined his authority. He circumvented him, including the infamous press conference while he was eating cupcakes, which bonus points for that. Okay. But Tony had probably never faced anything like that before. I doubt he faced it in football because that's not his role, but he probably heard about it with his dad. But he's facing this problem with this guy with an alpha male, big, you know, and he probably didn't know what to do and asked other people. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he probably went in there thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to be able to book and do what I want and buy whoever I want. And you forgot about the backstage politics and all the petulant, you know, emotional, radical egos that there are in the dressing room.
And something that either you guys might not be aware, it's something, Konnan, that maybe you knew but never said on the show. What happened with Punk was they had to hand it over to this disciplinary committee in AEW, which included, you know, their head counsel, and it also included Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson headed the disciplinary committee that decided Punk's got to go, and he still heads it now, handing out fines for any kind of issues. So that was news to me.